I'm Isis Romero, and this is the news in San Antonio. Flooding and record rainfall hit the area on Thursday. About 15 cars were caught up in flooding on Perrin Vital near Austin Highway. Multiple bodies were recovered in that area. One person who was killed has been identified as a 77-year-old woman. Others are still unaccounted for. Families say their loved ones were on their way to work when they were caught in the floodwaters.
It's hard. It's hard because I was on the phone with them when this happened. And then not to have a lot of communication with him and then to see my car is devastating to me, for no one can say to me, hey, this is what's going on.
He says, I love you, Jackie, I love you. And then I hear like a crash again and then nothing. And then the call cuts off. And then I called 911 and all that.
The San Antonio Fire Department says they conducted 70 water rescues. Police say a driver in a stolen car got stuck in high water. According to police, someone in a stolen car drove around barriers, then abandoned the car in rushing water. We're told no one was found in the vehicle. Officers are still looking for that driver. And we've seen incredible pictures and videos from viewers of this record rainfall. Let's take a look at some of those. This was sent to us by viewer Jason Rayberg just outside Alamo Ranch. The rain gauge is 6 inches full. Here's another video from viewer Michael Garcia. You can see rushing water in the area of Perrin Vital and Vicar. And here's a pic of another rain gauge by viewer Janice Cooper on Blanco Pass. It's just below 5 inches. San Antonio is a city that floods easily. KENS 5 meteorologist Jeremy Baker explains why.
San Antonio sits in a part of Texas that is often called Flash Flood Alley. It is one of the most flood-prone regions in the country. There are three main factors making that the case. The first is the Balcones Escarpment. It's a geologic fault zone extending in an arc across Texas just northwest of San Antonio, including Austin and the I-35 corridor. Warm, moist air gets trapped just to the east of it, producing heavy rainfall events. Steep terrain, shallow soils, and narrow river channels send runoff quickly downhill. The result, fast and erosive floodwaters that can affect communities downstream, particularly around Bexar County. The town of Wimberley is also located just east of the escarpment. In 2015, the Blanco River rose to a record 40 feet, destroying 350 homes and taking 13 lives. UTSA researchers found that development in the area also contributed to the disaster. That is also known as urbanization and is the second flash flood factor. Rapid development of the area east of the escarpment has replaced nature with man-made roads and buildings. When there are storms, there's nowhere for the water to go, and it slides off concrete structures with fewer plants and soil to absorb that water. The final factor is our long-term drought. Even with recent rains, prolonged dry periods force the soil to repel water, and when that rain falls, it tends to flow over the surface instead of going through it, so the ground can't soak it in. In the future, climate change will likely make conditions worse, with extreme heat leading to more extreme rain events as warmer air can hold more moisture. I'm Jeremy Baker for KENS 5.
That's the Comal River in New Braunfels, which closed on Thursday. City officials say heavy rains caused the flow to increase to 1,800 cubic feet per second. The city plans to evaluate when to reopen. San Antonio city parks may also be unsafe. The San Antonio River Authority is urging you to use extreme caution on all trails and low water crossings. They say some areas remain flooded. Others may still have debris or slippery mud. Two of those areas are listed on your screen. Both are closed right now due to high water. And you can stay safe on the roads with a quick check online. You can see the emergency road closures across the county at bearflood.org. Remember, the easiest way to avoid getting in trouble is to turn around, don't drown. In other news, San Antonio Crime Stoppers need your help solving a deadly shooting. It happened on June 1st. Police say Keontae Agius was followed as he and a passenger left Vibes Sports Bar and Grill. Take a look at these images here. Police say 2 people shot out of a maroon vehicle as Keontae was pumping gas at a 7-Eleven. If you know anything, call police. President Trump hit the reset button, ordering 7 U.S. Army bases to revert to their old names. It's a move that includes Texas's own Fort Cavazos, which will restore the name Fort Hood. KENS 5's Alicia Nieves spoke with a critic who says honoring one U.S. military hero shouldn't come at the expense of another's service.
The only base in the world named after a Hispanic American.
It was hailed as a historic step, renaming Fort Hood to honor General Richard Cavazos in 2023. He was the first Hispanic 4-star general in U.S. Army history, a Medal of Honor recipient, and native Texan. But now, Fort Cavazos will once again carry the Hood name, this time not for Confederate General John Bell Hood, but for Colonel Robert B. Hood, a World War I hero with no ties to the Confederacy.
This is just not the right way to approach this.
General Cavazos was the great-uncle of Ramiro Cavazos.
To change this now is really a very disheartening, numbing for our family.
Relatives say Fort Cavazos was a rare and deserved recognition for a community that's long served in silence.
If everything is based on merit, General Cavazos had this base named after him because he was the commander of this base.
The new change affects 7 military sites across the country. It sidesteps the Confederate connection, but critics say the intent is clear.
You want minorities to come and enlist and become officers, but yet you won't allow us to have heroes.
Lawrence Guzman Romo, who helped lead the original renaming process, says the selections weren't political, but instead based on merit.
All the selections that the naming commission picked were the #1 selections of every community. That's the bottom line.
For now, the Kavasos family is leaning on pride, not politics.
It shows the value of the Cavazos name.
There is no immediate cost estimate for reversing the changes. And that's the news in San Antonio.